So today I want to talk a little bit about something that, well, it's really bigger than everything, than any design separately, or than, well, actually, yeah, trends or anything else. And it's about creativity as a concept, not a concept, but creativity as part of our lives. And I believe that creativity is the most pure form of consciousness. The world went crazy over yoga, meditation, breathing practices, holistic healing, and people do get to that state of deep meditation through years of those practices, and some of them do experience this absolute bliss of connection to the higher powers, to the universe, to themselves. But we actually do it because when we create, we forget everything else. The world stops existing. Our personal problems are gone, the politics are gone, everything is gone. There is nothing but this process which we plug into, and we lose ourselves in, and we lose everything in it. And not only do we get to this wonderful place of connection to some universal creative socket, but we also actually physically make this world a little bit better. So that for me is the absolute, the pinnacle of human existence. Not only we connect to the universe, we connect to ourselves, we connect to the soul of beauty, but we actually physically do something. So what can be better? And I'm not saying that all those people who are sitting in lotus positions for years and years and years, that they don't do something. Of course they do, and they get out of the lotus position and they do something great. But we actually do it while we are so deep in this creative meditation. And I think it's the most fun, it's the most incredible, healing. And when I'm stressed, when I'm feeling unwell for some reason, when I'm especially mentally, mentally not happy or not healthy, this is what I do. I take myself to a place which I still need to build, or I take myself to my imaginary world where I create whenever I need to, and that makes me, that takes me back to myself, and that makes me feel so much better. And so this moment is wonderful. Our question is how to use it, because it's very easy to get lost in it. It's very easy to just go there and forget everything else. But what is important in this case is the stage of an observer. So if we can manage to go completely into this pure creativity and at the same time observe ourselves from the distance and control ourselves and make sure that we are actually thinking while we are being so deep into creativity. And we're thinking about many practical things, about the life of people, about the budgets, about the technology, about this whole thing not going to fall on somebody's head. So that makes it ultimately even more interesting and more complex. And I really think that the profession of design is something completely else. So what we want to, what I want to say is that the first thing, losing yourself, losing your ego completely, in this process is essential. If we're not doing that, then we're not creating, then nothing good comes out. Controlling yourself, observing yourself, and thinking at the same time is an incredible skill. And it's definitely, well, not available to everybody. And that skill we can train and we can perfect with years. And I know how an idea is being born. So while we are, okay, so this creative process here that we dive into, we need this idea to be born. And I know how that feels. I know how it feels to, well, I'm sorry for the comparison, but how it feels to get pregnant with an idea, because that's what we do. The idea is an embryo that is born in our heads, and then we, like kangaroos, kind of decide when it's going to be born, when it's the right time for it. But this moment, when you get an idea, we all physically know how we feel it. We get goosebumps. We want to we want to scream out. We want to. We physically feel the reaction to this birth of the idea. We want to dance. A lot of people want to hug somebody. People jump in the air. And so that is a natural process of a birth of the idea. And I think that we should kind of have this calendar in the year and have those birthdays marked and celebrate them a year later or a month later. That would be really fun. Invite friends for dinner and say, well, let's have a glass of wine. I had an idea a year ago and see what happened. Well, like nothing happened, and that's okay too. And we're not talking now about huge ideas. We're not talking about discoveries or you know, those apples falling in the tree, whoa, gravity. We're talking about an idea for a bedroom, an idea for a square, an idea for a dinner, an idea for a new salad, anything really. And because they're all on the same level. The ideas are not, I don't think you can measure them. I don't think that you can say that, okay, this is a small one, this is a big one. Creating a new sandwich is as big as creating a city. And potentially it can actually change the world, that little sandwich, which we all know that a few sandwiches did change the world, for good and for bad. So this, like, yeah, the size of the idea, size doesn't matter in this case. Ideas are important, and we should not forget them, because sometimes we disregard them as something not useful at the moment, or unpractical or impossible. But there is nothing impossible to start with. There is nothing impractical. Everything can be done, and we can even, if we really set our efforts to it, if we really decide to go for it, we can build that Leo Square. And we can find investors, and we can go to the government and potentially persuade them to do it if we want to. So there is no idea that should be disregarded. And I highly recommend to start collecting them. We all get them. Have a special book, or have a, I don't know, special place where you save some voice recordings and collect those ideas. You will be surprised that maybe 10 years from now, something will come out of that, and you will go, oh my God, we should celebrate 10 years of this idea. I was thinking about building this particular thing for so long, I forgot about it. But look, now it's happening. So that is, yeah.